Lana PD didn't knowingly maliciously deadname Keffals, nor did they no-knock raid and wake her up with guns for his claim. Keffals, wait. Responding officers conducted the initial inquiries, which culminated in their attendance at Ms. Sorrenti's residence. Officers did not conduct what is sometimes referred to as a dynamic entry into Ms. Sorrenti's residence. Rather, they knocked on the door, announced themselves as police officers, and occupants answered. Any attempt by uninvolved third parties to suggest otherwise is inaccurate and irresponsible. Ms. Sorrenti was arrested for uttering threats based on information officers had at the time. Ms. Sorrenti was polite and cooperative. Oh, did she lie about it? Is there body camera footage? Keffals knows she needs $60K for lawyers.
I think my GoFundMe did end up making like $85,000. I've been seeing people doing discourse about that forever, and I just like, do they understand how much lawyers cost? A 3-day civil trial in Canada is like $60,000.
I didn't know that. That seems like a lot of money.
Yeah. I already hired a lawyer, and I'm looking into taking legal action, but I was advised not to talk about it until I actually do take legal action, so I haven't made a statement.
Well, I've seen the people seething online about it, you know, that you're lying about the amount you're going to... First of all, I want to make my principles clear, okay? If you put forward a GoFundMe, and you say you're going...
What is the average cost of a 3-day civil case in Canada? I wonder what it would be. Average cost of a 5-day trial is $56,439. 7-day trial is $81,958. Huh. This is from CanadianLawyerMag.com. I wonder. What is she even going to sue them for? TheStar.com says it can be $60,000. You guys want me to... You guys want me to put in a little bet here? Ready? 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 Quote me. Quote me. And I could be wrong, but quote me anyway. I don't think she's going to trial for anything. I don't think there is going to be a trial for anything at all. I think she's just going to pocket the money and then say she'll use it for like trans activism or something in the future. That's what I think will happen. This brings me to allegations that Ms. Sorrenti was addressed during her time in London police custody using an incorrect name and gender. While I cannot confirm any conversations which might have transpired during Ms. Sorrenti's initial arrest, activity in her holding cell is monitored by audio and video equipment. At no time while she was in her holding cell did members of our police service address Ms. Sorrenti by her dead name and gender. I have personally reviewed the recordings and found our officers are polite, respectful, and professional. The reference to Ms. Sorrenti's former name appears to stem from the existence of prior police reports. Ah, now I can understand why some of the evidence might have been mislabeled if they already had her on the record. Not that that's okay or good, but I understand now how that happened. Because I'm kind of wondering, if you've legally changed your name, why the fuck would they write your dead name on anything? That just seems going to be confusing with police officers. But if she's got a prior record, they might have like a similar file where everything gets... That makes sense. Destiny would pocket the money, so he thinks everyone else will. Logic. True. When I hosted that Destiny 1 tournament a long time ago, people don't remember this, but I collected like an extra $500 at the end, and I said I'll use it towards my next tournament, and I didn't, because I didn't hold another tournament. I stole that money from the StarCraft community. Or from my community, depending on how you see it. I'll use it on the blue hair dye I'm going to buy. Police are normally notified when someone legally changes their name. When an individual comes into contact with police for whatever reason, an entry is made into our records management system using the name provided at the time. That report is merged with prior reports, if any, involving the same person with the same date of birth. Where an individual has a change of name or has a nickname or alias, those would be linked with the primary name on file. Police are not normally notified when someone legally changes their name. It appears the bag in which Ms. Sorrenti's personal property is held was labeled with her dead name for tracking purposes. I recognize that this explanation will not please everybody. This situation highlights for us the need to develop a mechanism to ensure accuracy in our record keeping, recognizing that, as in Ms. Sorrenti's case, anything other... Okay, this all seems like way more reasonable. So there was no no-knock raid. That's a lie. Assuming this statement is true and the police aren't lying here, which they could be. Be pretty dumb, but... they could be. But according to this, there was no no-knock raid. The tagging stuff makes sense. And while she was being held in jail, nobody dead-named her or disrespected her. So did she let them in or not? It sounds like according to the police, somebody answered the door. She claimed she was in bed and woken up with a gun pointed at her face. An assault rifle pointed at her face, I believe is what she said. Wait, does anybody have the video of her crying?
I was woken
No,
up.
where's the... Wasn't she giving an interview where she was like crying or whatever?
The community that I built online was the only time we ever felt like a normal teenager. And the target on my back is because of that.
God, it's so fake. It's stupid. Dude, I have never seen anybody poke the nest for Kiwifarms as hard as she does. God, she's so... I almost respect it. I almost respect it for how, like, transparently fucking evil she is. The, like... You know what? Oh, never mind. That would have been a spicy one. Never mind. But, like, Jesus Christ. Like, the fake victimization and everything and getting so much money off of it. And, oh my God. Just amazing white woman moment, okay?
Clara Sorrenti says a false email with her address was sent to London City Council, claiming she had killed her mother and was intending to shoot people at City Hall who were straight. The email, Sorrenti says, had given out her real address and resulted in police with guns at her doorstep and her being arrested.
When I went into the hallway and then saw that assault rifle, I screamed and I thought I was going to die.
London Police Service confirmed the arrest to Global News. They added Sorrenti was released without charges and they are continuing to analyze her.
Destiny's gonna get my trans face take? Wait, Hackhill. Wait, what do you mean by that? Wait, what does that mean? Were we on the same page there? Wait, what do you mean by that? Explain what you mean by that. No, hold on, explain what you mean by that. I'm just curious. I'm just curious what you mean by that. But what? No, that's not worth. It's not worth speculating. That would be funny though.
Electronic devices, but could not offer any more information. Sorrenti says the hate she's been facing is because of her prominence as a trans woman and activist.
They want me dead because I'm a high-profile transgender activist.
So to be clear, people hate her generally because she's a smug piece of shit online harasser and bully. That is her career. Her whole career is harassing and brigading and bullying on the internet. That's what she is and what she does.
There's a big target on my back, and for the past year, transgender people have been at the focal point of a culture war.
It's not just the doxing, but Sorrenti takes issue with London Police Service's handling of the incident. Evidence bags she showed Global News indicates police use her dead name, the birth name she had before transitioning, which is considered highly offensive. She also claims police asked her if she was a she and to explain dead naming.
The way that I was treated by the police really showed me they know nothing about transgender people.
And so this is all a lie. She doesn't bring up the fact that she had a rap sheet. She doesn't bring up the fact that they like matched these to a file. Like, I wonder if these people reached out to the police for comment on this.
Or issues.
Police told Global News that this is an active investigation, but despite being a prominent name online and having run for office provincially and federally, Sorrenti thinks police's actions are driven by ignorance.
So I had a hate crime perpetrated against me, and instead of the police helping me, they victimized me for it.
Also,
My back, and for the past year,
Name
profile,
prominent the arrest to Global
and then saw that assault rifle.
and her being arrested.
When I went into the hallway and then saw that assault rifle.
went into the hallway and saw that assault rifle. Where was the original tweet? Didn't she say originally that they woke her up with an assault rifle pointed at her face? I thought that was the original tweet that I saw. This sounds a bit different now, but okay.
Gender people or issues.
Police told provincially and federally, Sorrenti thinks police's actions are driven by ignorance.
So I had a hate crime perpetrated against me, and instead of the police helping me, they victimized me for it.
As for the trolls and hate mongers, Sorrenti says she remains undeterred.
I'm not backing down. I know that the work I do is incredibly valuable, and thousands of trans people have told me that. I have people almost every day saying they came out to their families because of me. And
Oh,
if they
God.
want me to stop the next time, they better manipulate the police into pulling the trigger.
She like her life is like a movie. It's so cringe. Oh my God.
As we mentioned, the response to this story has been overwhelming on social media, and on Sorrenti's end, the story is not yet over. She's waiting for London Police Service to finish their investigation and told Global News she planned to sue.
Sue for what? On August 5th, I was woken up and then a pointed at me and arrested for a crime I didn't commit. Yeah, true. Jesus. Why? It's phrased vaguely enough that the hallway could still make sense.
On August 5th, I was woken up by London Police Services pointing an assault rifle in my face.
No, that's not vague. And she wrote a whole script for this as well. So no, fuck you. I reject your bullshit there. No. Joan of Arc to be portrayed as non-binary in new production at London's Globe Theatre. Oh no. Oh no. Why? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Turf's eating well tonight.
I just think that's fucking crazy. Everything she said in the police report's just not
Almost
even lining up
certainly a
remotely.
complete
Yeah.
and total lie, or completely and totally misrepresented. And she got like so much, like almost international attention for it.
How
Wild.
spicy would it be if it was her or her own mods who swatted her to be able to do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't speculate that far because it'd be
I don't-
pretty
I don't
insane. But
think-
like, I wouldn't put it past her.
Do you not think you're taking at least a little bit of a risk? Like, sure, maybe there was some hyperbole or sensationalizing of saying that she was woken up with guns in her face, but who knows? Maybe it was kind of forceful. Like, I feel like we should be a little bit skeptical.
So here's
of-
the two things that are hurting really hard right now. These are the two things that I think is one, what she ended up putting out was highly misrepresented on its face. That she even walked it back in the live interview. She wasn't woken up in bed by it, which is what she made it sound like. She walked up to a hallway, number one. And then number two, she lied kind of about the dead naming thing. She made it sound like they were just being dead naming was horrible. She didn't bring up that she was already in the system, had a rap sheet, and that they were going by like what she'd previously been filed under. And the London police were saying literally that they listened, that the commissioner or whatever, he listened through all of the audio recordings of her in jail, whatever. Nobody misgendered her. Everybody called her by her proper name, et cetera, et cetera. Like, so that, and then.
Well, that's in jail versus what it was like at her home. Like,
sure.
listen,
So if she
it's
put,
not
but-
hard for me to believe that she lied about and sensationalized everything for the purpose of like driving people to her GoFundMe. That's not like unbelievable
Sure.
to me.
The third thing that hurts too, and now this one I admit I'm on shaky ground. I've only had one person tell me this, and then kind of confirmed by a second person that I asked. But what I was told was that the London, Ontario police are like literally the most fucking progressive police force like in the Western Hemisphere. That it is like an unbelievably ultra progressive area, that like they just did some police like trans recognition day or some shit, that these are like an ultra progressive police force. So the idea that these would just bust in with assault rifles and start being trans, the person that emailed me this and then another person that later confirmed was like, this is unthinkable for the London, Ontario police force. It's like unthinkable they would do that. So all of that taken it together, I think that she lied. I think she fabricated almost everything about the quote unquote trauma related to this. I think the police probably acted properly. I know that it sucks, but like I have never in my life judged the FBI for coming to talk to me, because if people are sending you clips of it making it look like I want to kill people, sure, I understand. Come and chat. We can chat. Like that's, I understand. Because if I did go out and kill somebody and you didn't talk to me, we've seen that happen with the FBI before, where they've got an open file on a kid and like he was making weird comments and nobody checked it and everybody looks at him like, what the fuck are you doing? So if emails are going out with her name and everything on them, then yeah, I can understand them like pulling her in for a day. But I mean, like, look at how communicative the police department's been. The commissioner made a statement about everything. They gave her shit back, I think the next day, right? I think they released her from jail that night. This is like expedient as fuck. I heard in the US, if the FBI jack your shit for investigation, you might lose your shit for 2 years. And even if you're innocent.
Gonna get it back sometimes.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. It seems to me like this police department went above and beyond trying to accommodate her in every size, shape, and form. Like aggressively, like polite and nice. So for her to come out and fucking steal $100,000 on the back of everybody, claiming that she's gonna sue, she's not gonna sue. I tweeted it. You screenshot my tweet. She's not bringing a case to anybody. Nobody's gonna take. There's nothing she can even sue for.
Did she get $100,000?
Yeah. Well, no, I think it was like $90,000, but
Yeah, I want to make it clear. I'm really I'm glad that you did. Even if you're on even if there's somewhat of a risk or something like that. Even if worst case scenario body camera footage comes out and they were like a little rough with her or something like that, or they were yelling or something like that, right? I'm glad you at least like took this gambit and took that risk, because it does force her in like a difficult position where
no,
she's got to
doesn't.
substantiate.
She's not going to do anything. She won't do anything. There's never going to be a lawsuit. She's going to stop talking about it. And then when it gets brought up in the future, she's just going to like vaguely mention like, oh yeah, we're using this fund in order to pay for other trans people in the future. It'll be some dumb shit like that.
Oh, well,
guaranteed.
what the fuck are you arguing for? That there was no point in you doing that other than pissing people off more?
Well, the point is that it makes me look good because I can point to a track record of me making strong predictions and them coming true, which I am able to do, and I have done consistently throughout the past, and I'll continue to do that. It just builds integrity with my
enough,
audience.
yeah.
I'm willing to stake out difficult positions because they're things I feel strong about, and I can bring it up in the future if I ever harass her. It'll always be something like, hey, what'd you do with that money? Hey, where'd the $90,000 go? Hey, where's your civil suit? You know?
And like the audience that's going to be amenable to Keffals as a brand or whatever, you don't want that audience anyway, so it doesn't really behoove you to.
No,
to
those
not
people
be
are all
aggressive.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. I bet you she can get a lawyer for pretty cheap, get an out-of-court settlement for $1 that remains sealed.
And then lie about everything.
Yeah.
Honest to God, you know what? With as cucked Canada is, I bet she actually could. I bet she could say, oh shit, that would be her way to own me too, is she would get a lawyer, $5,000 retainer probably, because it would literally just be filing of some fucking paperwork, right? She wouldn't burn through the whole retainer. And then the London, Ontario Police Department would, because Canada is so cucked, they're already trying to cuck themselves. They'd be like, oh my God, we're sorry we traumatized you. We're going to settle for an undisclosed dollar amount. We've made things right. And they both parted ways peacefully and happily. I bet they actually could do that.
Yeah. That's going to be way cheaper than all the lawyer fees to go fight in court
Yeah.
if she actually wants to go that way. There's a lot of people who make a living doing
Yeah,
things like that.
that is true. That's what she should do.
I was thinking about that as well. Was it the same thing, the Lance and Lauren debate? The fucking Lance not knowing anything about these
about
these graves?
Yeah.
Was that when fucking what's his name, Trudeau, came out on stage and was like, this is not our Canada, you know, and like was like,
Yeah.
we're very sorry, we're gonna address this or whatever. Or the
Yeah,
burning
when they
churches or
burned all the
something.
churches.
They just cucked themselves out over it. Jiminy Kremblers.
All right, here's one. Do you think she'll go after Kiwifarms with that money?
No, these people do. People are trying to take down Kiwifarms forever, and I'm sure they're hosted in like another country and shit. Like, there's no way that. And what would you even sue them for? Do they even do anything illegal? Doxing isn't a
hosting.
crime.
Yeah, but hosting a forum where people go harass people is a crime.
No
Wait,
shot.
isn't it though? I think it is. I think there are like cyber harassment laws.
Yeah, but in what country? Are you gonna get Interpol involved? Are you gonna contact like fucking L to like? No.
Well, I mean, I think we can liaise with Canadian law enforcement pretty effectively. I mean, it's not like we're fucking dealing with.
What? No. Wait, hold on. Are you assuming
Bill
Kiwifarms is host?
Browder,
I thought Kiwifarms is hosting like fucking Russia or some shit.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but the guy lives in America, as far as I'm aware. He's an American citizen, one, who hosts it. And two, if Russia can use Interpol to harass Bill Browder, then I'm sure you can do something.
If I were to, okay, I'll ask this. Has there ever in the history of litigation been a suit brought to shut down a website for harassment? There is no shot. I bet that's never happened before. People are bringing up Stormfront. Stormfront didn't get legally shut down either. I think that the host just wanted to stop working with them.
AWS, I think.
Yeah.
Them and, was it Gab who got shut out of AWS? Or
Maybe, yeah.
What was the, yeah.